So I had a lot of people ask me how I became a barber. First of all, I've been a barber for since I was about 14, 15 years old. But back then I wasn't really a barber. I just used to do a little shape up, stuff like that, you know, to my friends. And, you know, that's about it. First time I put some clippers in my hand, I was probably about 10, 11 years old. My little cousin asked me to cut his hair, right? Shout out Barber Giovanni on Instagram, check him out. But so he asked me to cut his hair. First of all, he ain't got the type of hair that no kid should be cutting. He had hair like back in the day, like my buddy, right? Real straight black hair, fine black hair, super light skin. So that's already a problem. And so I cut his hair, right? Tore it up. This is back in the days when Sean Kemp was in the NBA. So I remember, instead of doing Sean Kemp, anybody used to know, he used to wear like the little ramp in the front. So instead of doing that, I decided to take the front out, right? And he was so pissed, he was crying, you know, it was bad, it was horrible fail. And then I had this other experience too when I was younger. This girl, when I might have been like in the 8th grade, this girl I thought was pretty. She asked me to cut her brother's hair. She's like, you know how to cut hair, right? I said, yeah, hell yeah. Listen, probably only messed up 2 heads in my life. So I said, yeah, let me come through, I'll cut his hair, right? So I go through, my young boy, Miz, talking to you. So my young boy's there, right? And tore his head up. I spent like 2 hours on the cut. No idea what I was doing. No idea whatsoever. And I told his sister and his mom, I was like, yo, I'll be back tomorrow to finish this. So it goes from there. But then when I went to the penitentiary, I started cutting hair, and I've always been somebody who's been inspired and drawn to anything artistic, anything at all. So when I went to prison, I was in Dallas State Prison, started working in the barber shop, and you know, went from there. But I had bad luck in the barber shop because it only takes about a year to get your license, right? My first instructor, he passes away when I'm halfway into my hours. So now my hours stop. I'm in a barber school. I'm still working in the barber shop, but my hours stop as far as getting hours completed, you know, to count towards my test. You need 1,250 of them. And then I end up being paroled. So I come home, start cutting. My goal in my head was to come home, start cutting, and you know, make a career out of it. But things got a little sidetracked, you know, and I didn't want to put that time in. So then I went back to the penitentiary, started working another barber school. Teacher moves from one prison to another prison. So same thing. Ended up being screwed over on my hours again. And then finally, when I went back to prison in 2009, I was in Dallas. I got in some trouble in Dallas. They kicked me out of Dallas, sent me to Camp Hill State Prison. And I was trying to get in the barbershop to finish my hours. And at first, the barber school didn't want to let me in. Like the administration didn't want to let me in the barber program because of the stuff that I had got into up Dallas. So they was like, no, you know, we're not gonna let you in. And I had to fight for it for a while. And then probably about a year after I got there, they let me in the barber program, got my hours, took my license, passed, line colors. And then I was able to help get other students ready to take their test, which was, for me, that was a dope experience. Then I come home from prison, 2012, maxed out my sentence, and I opened up my first barbershop. Goes pretty good for me also. You know, it took a little while to catch on, but then it picked up. But, you know, I was still dibbling dabbling in the streets and stuff I shouldn't be doing. So I ended up going back to jail and losing everything that I had, everything that I owned. I pretty much lost. You know, and that was an extremely humbling experience. So then when I come home in 2015, I start working at my cousin's shop, right? Because I come home 2 days before Christmas. So usually when I'm in the penitentiary, I'm getting money. I'm hustling, selling drugs, doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, and I'm coming home to a couple $1,000. This time wasn't the case. This time I said, I'm buckled down, do what I gotta do. I'm tired. I threw my hands up. I was done. So I come home 2 days before Christmas. I don't have no Christmas money to buy my kids, nothing like that. My wife, nothing. My cousin said, look, cut in the shop. So at the end of the day, I go tell him, I said, look, this is what I made. What you want? And he's like, keep it. You know, he was like, keep it. And that, believe me, that helped me out. So he did that. I worked there, you know, maybe a couple weeks. And that's what he was like, look, keep it. Because when I had got locked up, he was just starting to become a barber. So I left him with my shop. And he had the shop open for maybe about 2 months after I got locked up because my rent was paid up, and then he paid a couple months worth of rent. And so, you know, he was able to return the favor, I guess, you know what I mean, and bless me with that opportunity. And then a couple months later, I ended up opening my barber shop again. And when I opened it, my old clientele came back quick. People in the community was a little sketchy to take me because I was right next door to my old location, literally right next door. The next building over, that's where I was. And but you know, it worked out. It grew. Had to bring somebody else in, young kid. You know, didn't really work out, but it was all, you know, a growing experience for both of us, I guess. And then was able to bring somebody else in, a friend. Now he got his own shop, you know. Shout out Chris. Check him out on Instagram, Facebook, Chris L. Barber. And then I was able to bring somebody else in, and now it's a total of 5 of us. And it's dope to be able to provide for my family off my craft, right? And then to be able to provide for other people, help other people provide for their family. But even more than that is what we're able to do for our community. Our thing here, the motto for Against the Grain, is much more than a barbershop, right? And I like to say that we much more than a barbershop. You know, my name might be on a license and on a lease and all that stuff, but this is the community's barbershop. It just is what it is. Come on, man. This motherfucker Titan. I'm trying to make a video, man. Come on, get down. All right, so that's Titan. He the shop mascot. Come on, man, get down. He acting up though, right? So it's a beauty to be able to do that, man. And it's a blessing, and we're able to provide and be leaders of our community. And it's a blessing. Being a barber I meet everybody. I'm in contact with everybody, from street dudes to professionals, from law enforcement to criminals, you know, the whole gambit. And it's a blessing.